everyone. How did you like that book? That was a new one for Pablo and me. This is the first year that I've read that book, and I really liked it. It reminded me of something that we do at OCS, which is using the three-part message to talk things out. So you remember the problem-solving wheel from yesterday, and it has a section on it called Talk It Out. So, like in our book, they did a bug and a wish. It bugged me when blah, blah, blah. I wish. And you tell the person what you wish. So that's a talk it out strategy. And this is very similar. This is the one we use at OCS, except we add in one other part, which is an I feel part. So let me show you how this would work. So let's start out with this scenario. And I think we talked about this one yesterday, but I'm going to pretend that I was building a really tall block structure. And Pablo could be a friend, could be a sibling, could be a family member, walks by, bumps into that block structure, and it falls over. You were working so carefully and hard to build it as tall as you could. Really frustrating when it gets knocked over. So this is what you might say. This is what I would say to Pablo. I'm going to have Pablo be over here. Pablo, first you want to get the person's attention and let them know that you want to talk to them. Because if they're not listening, this isn't really going to make a big difference, is it? Hey, Pablo, I'd like to talk to you. Pablo, is this a good time to talk to you? Okay. Okay, so Pablo said it's an okay time to talk. So now I'm going to use my three-part message with Pablo. Pablo, I noticed that when you walked by, you knocked over my block structure. I feel frustrated because I was working really hard to build it as tall as I could. Next time, when you're walking past my blocks, will you make a big wide circle around so you don't come close and knock them over? And then hopefully Pablo was listening carefully and can respond kindly. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Next time I'll be careful. And then you can also, maybe Pablo would think about maybe making amends. Like, then Pablo might say something like, I could help you rebuild it if you want. And then you could think about whether you want help or not. Okay, so that's one way to talk it out. So let's practice these together. Let's see if we can give that message to Pablo together. I noticed, what did we notice that Pablo did? I noticed you knocked over my block tower. And then how did that make us feel? I feel frustrated. I feel. And what's your request for next time? What are you going to ask Pablo to do next time? Be really careful when you're walking by my towers. Yeah. Okay, let me give you a scenario, and then I'm going to want you to practice it with your stuffy. Okay, so pretend you and your stuffy were going to the playground, and there's a swing that you see. There's just one swing, and you say to your stuffy, I think I'm going to go swing on the swing. That sounds like a fun thing to do right now. Your stuffy thinks, that would be fun too. And your stuffy runs as fast as they can over to the swing and hops on and starts swinging. But you wanted to go on that swing. You said you were going to go swinging. Now there's no swing left for you. Okay, I want you to think about what you noticed that happened, how you would feel in that situation, and what you're going to ask your stuffy to do next time. Pause me and give that a try. You're back. How did that go? Yeah, if I were doing that, it might sound something like this. I noticed that you took the swing that I was hoping to swing on. I feel sad because I was really planning to swing right now. And I feel frustrated that you ran ahead of me to get the swing. Next time, will you talk to me about it and make a deal so we can figure out a way to share the swing? Okay, so that's one way to handle it. Okay, here's another situation for you. You gather up a pile of books that you want to read and set them next to you. Okay, so you start reading, and there's 3 books there that you're really excited about reading. And you start reading a book, and you finish it, and you go to get your next book, and it's not there. You noticed that it could be a friend, it could be a family member, your stuffy, let's pretend it's your stuffy. You notice that your stuffy came over to your pile and one of the books. You were really hoping to read that book. Okay. So pause me, and I want you to talk that out with your stuffy. How will you solve it? Okay. What did you say that you noticed? I noticed. I noticed that you took my book without asking. I feel I feel worried that I won't get a chance to read that book. Or I feel frustrated because I spent a lot of time picking out books that I really wanted to read. Okay, and what about your next time? What was your request? Okay, yeah. Next time, will you please ask before borrowing a book from me? Okay, so that was one that you can figure out just like that. Okay. Okay, here's one more scenario for you. How about this one? You are playing with a group of kids. Could be kids from your neighborhood, kids from school, maybe it's even siblings that you have at your house. And you're playing a game where everyone is puppies. And you decide, gosh, I don't really want to be a puppy. I'd rather be a cheetah. Okay, you'd rather be a cheetah. And so you say, I'm not a puppy, I'm going to be a cheetah. But the other kids in the game say, nope, this is a game where we're all being puppies. You have to be a puppy to play this game. Okay, how are you going to solve this? What will be the words you say? This is a good one to practice because I've seen this happen a whole lot. So let's think about it. What will you say? I noticed, I feel, next time. Pause me. Practice that with your stuffy. Pretend your stuffy is one of the kids saying, you have to be a puppy. No cheetahs in this game. Okay, let's talk about it. I noticed that when I said I wanted to be a cheetah, you all said I have to be a puppy. I feel I feel left out or I feel sad because I want to play the game, but I want to be a cheetah. Next time, next time, can we figure out a way to play a game where I can be a cheetah? That's a great way to express yourself here. Now, I want you to know there's several different ways that you could choose to solve this. So it might be a game really where the game doesn't make sense to have a cheetah. So maybe you might have to find some other kids that want to play a cheetah game. Or maybe the kids who are being wolves, maybe there's a way that you can adapt the game and change it a little bit so it does make sense having a cheetah. So, but using the 3-part message to talk about it will help you be calm and really express yourself in a way where folks can really hear you. And this helps make the problem smaller so that you can come to a solution, right? After you talk about it, you might decide maybe you play a wolf game for a little bit, maybe you play a cheetah game for a little bit, or maybe today it's the wolf game, tomorrow it's a cheetah game, or maybe the game can be adapted to include cheetahs. But you have to be able to express yourself calmly so you can use the owl part of your brain to solve it. If you got really upset and yelled and said, I want to be a cheetah, that's not fair, and you were really upset like that, how do you think your friends would react? Would they react calmly or would they kind of yell back? A lot of times, if you yell, someone might get that triggers their guard dog, right? Because their guard dog's hearing yelling. Everyone's guard dog is barking. Can we solve the problem? No, we need our owls to help us. So, approaching it with a 3-part message helps you get your message out, right? when you make a request for next time, it might not always turn out exactly how you hope. But this is the start to resolving it and coming up with some sort of solution where everyone can be happy. So you can make a deal and you have different options, but this is the way to express yourself so that other folks can receive the information and then you can come up with a solution and talk about it together. Does that make sense? Yeah, this is a very handy tool. Remember, you have to be using your wise owl to use this tool. Doesn't work if you're in guard dog mode, right? You can't scream or yell the three-part message and expect that other people will hear it and receive it and be able to also talk to you about that. So in wise owl mode, calm body, calm words, kind words, we use a three-part message to start working out a solution. Okay, thank you for practicing that with me today. If you are someone who's up for an extra challenge, I challenge you to write or draw about a scenario that has either happened in real life to you or one that's an imaginary scenario where you think the three-part message could help you solve the problem. Okay, so if you're up for that challenge, you'll get a piece of writing paper out of your writing workshop folder. That's the blue folder. And you can write or draw a picture about a time when this could be helpful. Okay, I think you should keep this in a place right by your workstation so you'll always know where it is. So if you ever need to use a three-part message, you can grab this card and go through those steps. And this is something we'll come back to and keep practicing. And feel free to practice anytime you want. Okay, thanks for doing that with me.